Well, thank you, everyone. I am delighted to be with you today, albeit I am in the room via Zoom, but from a very sunny Scotland. And for those of you who know the weather of Scotland well, I'm delighted to report that we are in 70-degree temperature, which is very rare for Scotland, even in the summer. So I'm going to share with you today some highlights from the work of the advisory group over the last year. So the highlight report from the advisory group starts with the news that was shared already, that we now have 51 member organisations, which is something to celebrate because it means we have more than 100,000 nurses and midwives with access to the Academy benefits, which is terrific. The breadth and variety of the membership organisations is really unique, and I will overview that shortly, and also cover some of our engagement and commitment to be actively involved that we're seeing happening now and will look to see in the future. I'm also going to cover the potential that we have for significant influence in the work that we do, and how important it is that everyone in the room today helps to share the purpose and shape the vision that we have for the membership organisation going forward. So our members across all of these sectors represent nursing as we know it in 2021, with all the services in the sectors that they are involved in, and the wide range and reach of nurses and midwives in all of those services. This brings together what I think is a very unique breadth and wealth of experience and expertise that will help inform the policy priorities and our influence more broadly.
Sorry about
this. The governance structure has two main parts to it. The first is the advisory group that I chair. And this group is a selection of named members from a variety of organisations across all of those sectors. We have biannual meetings, and the last of these was on the 2nd of June this year. And the group is there to inform the vision and strategy for the Academy. We've identified policy priorities for the Academy, and I'll come to those. And we also review and inform the benefits provided to Academy members. And the purpose is really to ensure that the membership benefits are responsive and aligned with the development needs of senior leaders. We're supported by the Shared Governance Forum. Many of you in the room will be members of that. And this is a selection of point of care nurses from member organisations, and they meet quarterly. My Associate Director of Nursing that works with me in National Services Scotland came back very energised from the last meeting, so I'm delighted to see the progress being made there. And the group holds the devolved responsibility to identify and influence the working practice of the Academy on behalf of the members. And so the purpose of this group is around ensuring the membership benefits are responsive and aligned to the development needs of staff at the point of care. So the Shared Governance Group, operational leadership, and the advisory group are strategic leadership for the members. The Strategic Advisory Group did identify two main priorities at our first meeting, and that is where we have started. So the first of these was accessibility and sustainability of clinical supervision for nurses in recognition of some of the changes that happened in recent years. The second area is around promoting inclusive and diverse leadership, and again, recognising the importance of that in our current context as ever. The subject expert groups for these topics have been convened and act on both of those areas. And the Shared Governance Forum has been focused on ensuring that the Florence Nightingale Foundation promotes equity in all it does. And so, for example, the application processes for leadership development, engagement activities that are underway, or advertising of opportunities have equity built into every part of the process has been the focus of that work to date. We had an update on our two policy areas at our last meeting of the advisory group on the 2nd of June. And a very helpful summary on clinical supervision came from Jess Sainsbury, overviewing the convened subject expert group that's been set up to date, and the developed 10 core principles to support accessibility and sustainability of clinical supervision. And we were informed of the influence that's already underway. The group had presented to the NMC Professional Strategic Advisory Group, really influencing at the highest tables in that regard. And they're also building a coalition of the willing, inclusive of engaging with the RCN and the forums and the newly registered nursing network. So building that coalition of people who will drive that policy priority that we've identified. And the key message in that policy area for us is that it's time that we had the time for nurses to attend clinical supervision, and it must be required by regulators, protected by employers, and resourced by government. So the second policy area is inclusive and diverse leadership. And we had an update at the meeting on the 2nd of June from Sheila Lloyd, who's been leading this, and the subject expert group in support of that. That group has captured leadership stories and communicated these through a range of media channels. You may have seen some of this in social media from Nightingale's Twitter account, amongst other things. And they've also successfully received funding to provide a range of leadership programmes that actively address this agenda. So the key message in our policy intent here is that leadership development of people from ethnic minorities is not enough to enable culturally competent and sensitive workforce, which enables equity and opportunities for all. And so the policy intent is to change that. So how have we increased access to leadership development? So we now have had 9 member organisations benefit from the waiver of the £1,000 scholar employer contribution. That's a terrific benefit for members to have. We've also had continuous access to the Nightingale Frontline Leadership Support Service, and that has been so valuable to all during the pandemic and will continue to be going forward. And in addition to that, we've had the bi-monthly webinars, and these have included the great audience with webinars that have key nursing leaders and a question and answer session, a great opportunity to engage with these key nursing leaders, as well as topic-specific focused webinars on scholarship applications, writing for publication, and a wealth of leadership development opportunity from delivering kind of coaching and also digital transformation and change management. So terrific content available to all the members and on YouTube to watch thereafter if you can't make it when it's live. So a great resource for all to use. So today, we want to gather your views and direction on the future direction of the Academy membership. We want to ask you about what the need is for regulators and policymakers in relation to these policy priority areas of clinical supervision and diversity and leadership, amongst other things that you may think are important. Look at what support and intelligence that you would value from our expert reference groups, and think about the themes and content for our education programme. And so in doing all of that, we hope that all of that will inform the future direction of the membership as we go forward. So we're going to have the World Café now. I hope that you enjoy it. I look forward to seeing the outputs from it and to seeing you all in person, hopefully, when next we meet. Thank you very much.